Now, as you can see, I've checked the status of the database. Database name is this. This is the host name. Database role is primary. We can even have multiple databases with the same name. That is for replication purposes. Wherein if one database fails by some issue, then we have to automatically the database switches to another and another database with the same name, and then we don't have a downtime. So basically, DBA ensures like downtime for a year should be 99.9%. That is what the accuracy the customers want us to follow. And okay, so the log mode is no archive log mode. So archives are generated, as I told earlier, whenever change is detected, like suppose a user fires insert, update, delete any query. So the changes are saved in database in archives. So now the database in no archive mode. So suppose if the database is terminated due to some issues, then it would be hard to recover this database as there is no archives. So the database is in read write mode. The startup time is morning 7:13 today, and that's what. So I'd like to show you, some concepts as well. We can even monitor the database easily through this thing. This is called as an enterprise manager. Uh, so this shows you everything. Say suppose, see, this is showing that the listener it is running. This is the home, and then it will show the database name as BSID, which is running. We can do many things from here, which we can do from backend as well. But there are few restrictions as well. And there is plugin install. We'll leave it. So we have these many options. We can set up backup from here itself. We can use Armin. Basically, we don't use this thing. We normally prefer Armin because we some customers provide access to this and some don't. So the basic goal is like us to master on Armin. So basically, we use Armin only. So whenever there is an suppose upgrade or any maintenance on any of the servers, so we black out the server. What does a blackout mean? Blackout means uh, we have a ticketing tool wherein we receive tickets if any of the instances either down or any alert comes from that instance. So we can go ahead and manually black out that particular instance if we are working and bringing it down purposefully. So there are many other things which I don't think is useful for now. So we can check table spaces, how many table spaces are there in the database, control files, temporary files, data files, and all those things like which are present in the database. We can schedule jobs from here. We can run chains and many more things. We can create a user, assign roles to the user. We can see the profiles, and we can add another instance as I told earlier for the application purpose. We can do that also takes some time. Okay, database object like table views, synonyms, everything. If we can, check from here, data movement. We can clone the database from here as well. Yes, that is also possible. Cloning means we, create an exact replica, like the word clone in real world. We go ahead and create an exact replica of all these databases, and then we use it as per client requirements. So software and support, this we hardly use. So we'll check for it. Okay, so it shows basically whatever access you have. Now, I'd like to show you one more thing. I'd like to take Arman binary is not there. Okay, see, this is how we check the listener. The listener has only one instances, but in production, you'll have many. This is like 2 pages something. So it's showing like this database is up and running, and the corresponding XDB process is also there. So it shows as the instance is ready, and it's accepting the connections from users. Uh, so earlier we didn't get this right, so it's okay now. We'll check some. I'd like to show some basic, tables which we use in query. This table contains the details about tables in present in the database. Like if we do account, account, uh, underscore tables. This test database has like 2,863 different tables. Uh, Production may vary like very much. Okay, now what is the difference between live working and working in at home like this current setup which we are doing? In live environments, there is no, you cannot do any mistake there. So doing mistake is like every- it creates a lot of problems, like for client as well as for us, and our company might get, having it might have issues like the client might go or like they'll have some escalations and you will have to attend the calls and those things. Another difference is like the data here, if you see what is the size of my entire database. I'd like to show you. Select some bytes. Sorry about my keys is like stuck. EPA underscore files. So the size of this database is like just 1 GB. As you can see, this is the table wherein we have information about all the data files. Like data files are stored here. So this is the complete size of the data, which is just under 1.5 GB. But in production, we have about 1.5 petabytes of memory. So I've worked in like Oracle apps as well as Oracle DBA. Like Oracle has, you can support up to many petabytes of databases, which normal applications like other applications other than Oracle hardly do. So that's why Oracle is like one of the best, database management systems in market. I'd like to. So this very shows the database backup. One second. Okay, so this is the backup which we have taken at 2 o'clock today. Sorry, at 10:37 today. Okay, there are backup strategies in Oracle. There are many. I'd like to show them as well somewhat. I know I am not completing everything, but we have to know everything little bit just to know if you are interested or not, and then we can start later on. Okay, so as you saw the Enterprise Manager, OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager, I showed you here. I'll show you again. Okay, this is called as okay. This is called as Oracle Enterprise Manager. We can do many things from here. Basically, if client provides you access to this, so that's what it's been written here. I believe they are trying to take the backup from Enterprise Manager, but we can take the backup from RMAN as well. There is one more utility called as Export Import, and then Data Bump. Uh, I would like to show you these things as well, but I think we are short of time on those things. Uh, okay, so what happens in a backup exactly? So this is the Linux suppose operating system, and this is our RMAN. I told you, right? RMAN is one of the backup strategies which Oracle databases uses to recover and restore and recover it files. So backup can be taken on. Okay, I'd like to. Sorry about that. Backup are of two types. One is cold backup and another one is hot backup. So the cold backup is wherein you shut down all the instance, you shut down everything, and then you take the backup of the entire database, which is much faster. The reason being, as the database is down, there are no other resources which are consuming on the server. And believe me, if a database is running and it is live, or someone is using it to do some transactions, then we have less memory and all those things there. So cold backup is the best backup, but for that we have to bring down the database. And I told earlier, like database administrator has to ensure like the yearly 99.9 percent target should be achieved. I mean, the database should not be down than 0.1%, which gives 13 hours of 13 hours of time for the entire year. So that is like we have to manage. Coming back to the enterprise manager, like from RMN, we take the backup. Backup can be on tape or it can be on the disk. Depends on the client's architecture. Like the server admins, they decide whether to keep it on a tape on disk, a tape or a disk. Uh, as we can see in this diagram, they have taken the backup on tape, and they have kept it for off-site storage. Off-site storage is something like on-site is like where the company is situated, and off-site is like the tape is taken securely at a different location, so that at any natural occurring, like any disaster which happens at the office, then we can uh, have the data of that office to some tape to some other location, wherein we can restore for future purposes. One second. Okay, I'd like to. So I'm sitting on my home desktop, so I don't have the queries. Okay. I have all the queries saved on my office laptop. I'd like to save it from here. Okay, one second, one second. Yep, okay, so I'd like to conclude this lecture. I mean, not exactly lecture. This was like training session. So what does basically, I know I went into too technical, but I don't wanted to do this. To be a frank, uh, so what does a DBA perform? As we can say, like in our colleagues, DBA colleagues, we say like. DBA means din bar aram, but whenever we have issues, we had to be like persistent. Like we sit two, three shifts as well. Sometimes it depends on the situation. Like how many team members are there, how many are on vacation. So it's a hectic job, yes, but most of the times we don't have much like to do work. We just have the scripts in place to take care of those. And what does exactly a DB do? As you can see, we can to start with. I'd like to tell you about more about not my level of experience. Like I have 10 to 12 years of experience in Oracle database. Overall in IT, I have about 14 and a half years. But as in, if suppose if a person from you all went tomorrow to give an interview, and they should have some knowledge about what exactly a DBA means. If you need to generate interest in you know uh, learning this thing, surely I'll help you with that as well. But if you need to generate the interest, you need to know what exactly it is. What we do basically is install, patch, maintain, and monitor Oracle databases. How do we install? I just showed you one of the screens. Yes, we need to go through many technical things, and then install of Oracle databases. We need to patch. What does a patch mean? Like we have Windows security patches. We have security patches in Oracle as well. Not just security patches. We have different patches like. There are many sets of patches in Oracle other than security. Security is also there, which is a main critical component. Then we maintain the database. What do you mean by maintaining a database? Maintaining means we run scripts. We have all scripts in place. We check the daily activity. We have all the checklist in the morning, wherein we come and we check the status of all the database. We don't log into each and every database. We just log into the central repository. As I told you, yes, enterprise manager. One enterprise manager can configure many databases. So we log in and check here. uh, it's not a big hectic. This things are not done by an experienced one, but yes, up to 3 years of 3 years of experienced guys do these things unless and until they have the hands on. So monitor Oracle databases. We manually don't monitor. As I showed you, manager automatically monitors those and sends us the alerts on ticketing system. Create and maintain SQL and PL SQL queries and shell scripts. I already told you this. We create SQL, PL SQL queries as per user request, as per client request, whatever they whatever their goal is to what they want to achieve. Yes, we need to go through some scripting as well, but that is different from coding. Uh, Monitor and verify backups and perform ad hoc backups. Yes, we monitor. Again, the monitoring part is done by enterprise manager in most of the cases. And verifying backup, there are some queries wherein we can run and we can check whether the backup is completed. As I did already, one of the backups was completed in. Yes, this one. The control file backup which we have taken at 10:30 today was successful, and provide maintenance support for database systems. Okay, this thing is a bit tricky. The reason being, you have to coordinate with different guys like system administrators and network administrators to help you sort out whatever the issues are. Suppose due to some network issues, if the client or any other application which is connecting to the database is not able to connect, then we need to go ahead and look into the issues wherein we need to work with different teams, not just network, not just server admins, and look into the ground reality and need to find out exactly what the issue is. Data extraction, transformation, and loading, not now. Performing routine security and authentication measures. Basically, security and authentication measures we do are done basically by as I told earlier, the security patches. We apply the patches and that is being taken care by those security patches. They have different security features like suppose password restrictions and password those things. Uh, how many characters should be in the password, how many numerics should be in the password, those things. I'm just giving an example. There are much more complexity than that. Database tuning and troubleshooting. Yes, this is a major part wherein the senior guys come in. Tuning is wherein suppose a query is running, select star from any database, select star from any select star from any table. So there are few, I mean, how? Okay, there are some road maps. The data is read in the database, but as in production, the cost of reading the data is also needs to be analyzed, and that needs to be fixed to the shortest path actually. And that is done, yes, in tuning and troubleshooting. What do you mean by troubleshooting? Troubleshooting is like we receive many Aura alerts. What are Aura alerts? I'll show you the Aura alerts. 600. I'd like to show you the most common error, which is Aura 600. So what does this error says? It's an integral and error generated by general. It basically it's a very general error, but it can be fatal as well. Whenever we receive this alert in a database, we have to go ahead and log into support.oracle.com as I logged in earlier, and then we have to log in an SR with the Oracle support saying we have received this, and we need to give some files to them, some details to them, and they check in. Uh, I'm sorry if this is being becoming lengthy, but I want you guys to know this so that if you're interested, then okay. And then establishing user privileges and roles. So we do create user, we do alter user, change their password, expire. We If the user is expired, we renew user accounts and those things we do. It's basically daily work which we do. Securing the database from unauthorized user, that is taken care by the patch itself. We mostly don't do it, that or else we submit the files to Oracle support. They take care of it. Monitoring the database, that is done earlier by enterprise manager. What is an Oracle DBA? As I told you, just okay. What administrator skills do you need? uh, Basically you need to know Windows operating. You should have a grip on Windows operating system. You should have a grip on uh, Linux. You should have on Solaris, and then the database. So these things you should know. How is the role of Oracle DBA changing? Okay, this is the most important question. I believe you guys should be knowing. Oracle, as in everything is going on cloud. So Oracle is also going on cloud for now. I would request, like, if anyone wants to learn. It's a good time now because everything is moving on cloud. It's not yet moved, so you will have a mix of learning of both the basics, the older systems as well as the newer system. What is the most popular database? Okay, that I leave this question to you. But I believe MySQL is the most popular, because many companies are using it. It's because of it. It's free and almost free, you can say. And then there are some products of MySQL that are charged. Otherwise, it is absolutely free. Oracle is mainly used by the companies which need more security than the data. So, what should you know before becoming an Oracle DB? You should basically have some knowledge of Linux, Solaris, and you're good to go, I believe. Are there steps I can follow to become an Oracle DB? Yes, there are many. Uh, should be noticing that. Okay, there are many things. These are all new concepts: container databases, cloud premises, and then I would you know leave it for later on. So I'd like to ask Srinivas sir as well, sir. If someone is interested, like, among these student batches, I can help them to grow in DBA field. Like, once they are done, until and unless they are done with the third year, I believe they'll have a good good knowledge, like 3 or 4 years of database administrator. So in interview they'll have a good scope. If someone is interested, I'd like to help come ahead and help them out. So I rest, like, Srinivas sir, you can continue from here.
Okay, sir. If anybody is interested in learning further, we will make a batch and we will let you know.
Yes, sir. So any questions from anyone regarding, and don't okay, you can have questions, please. Any questions? Anyone? Hello. So I believe we can, I'll hang up then. If anybody is interested, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. Let's see. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you. This was my first, session wherein I've given it to students. Otherwise, I've done it, with my colleagues next to me at my desk. Thank you so much. Have a nice day to all of you. If someone is interested, yes, please reach out to sir. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, Vijit, thank you also for giving your precious time
Thank you,
and
sir.
showing the database installation on Linux.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, share the path of Linux image to me. I will share to the students and I will show the installation.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'll do it.
Okay, thank you. Now all of you
Okay.
can leave.